Hi, I'm Lois Vogel-Sharp. Today's December 17th, 2023. And I received a vision dream, about a week ago. Very intense. This video is going to be very intense. And it's about the timing of things in America. This is geared to America and what's going on in America. So, Father, I come to you in the name of Jesus. I ask you to help me explain this to the people. We rebuke the evil going on in Jesus Yeshua's name. So this is the dream, and I'm going to incorporate other words that the Lord gave both Gary and I. Gary is very much involved in the timing of this too and what's going on, because he got a few of these words from the Lord also. So this was the dream. I was in a room. It was like a banquet room. Pretty simple, just tables and chairs. It wasn't any major fancy. It was tables and chairs, and there were people around. Gary was like in the outer part. There was a door to go out, and he was like on the other side of the door. He was talking with some people, and I was like helping clean up. And there was two big cakes, huge cakes. One was on the table, it wasn't touched. And the other one, we had eaten some of it, and there was quite a bit left. There was a lot left of the cake. And I was kind of a little bit upset in the dream, wondering, wow, there should be more people here. But there weren't. And I'm thinking, why do we have so much cake left? Why is nobody seems to be eating the cake part of this? People had left. So now I was figuring out what to do with this cake. I wasn't going to throw it out. I had a whole cake that wasn't even touched. I'm talking like those really big cakes. So I'm figuring out how to do with it. So I'm looking to get some saran wrap to wrap pieces of it. Maybe somebody wants to bring some home or whatever. I hadn't eaten the cake. I had not even eaten a piece of the cake. I was wanting a piece of the cake. So that was kind of happening. So I was kind of like desiring a piece of the cake, and I hadn't had a piece of the cake. So I didn't really know why I didn't have a piece of the cake, but I didn't. So at that point, I'm looking for saran wrap, and Gary walks back in the room and he says to me, put a couple more steaks on the barbecue. More people have shown up. And I'm thinking to myself, we already ate the dinner part. So I knew that these people were coming in a little bit late, but I was like, I don't want to start cooking some more food. I'm like, done. I'm cleaning up. That was what I was thinking in my mind. But obviously it was showing an abundance. We were going to put steaks on the barbecue. Two big cakes were there. So we were in no lack at that point then. So now I'm looking for saran wrap. I know that I have saran wrap. I'm looking in the cabinets that they had there. This was not my house. This was in some other facility place, but I knew that there was saran wrap. You know, I was aware of the things that we had and we didn't have. So I'm looking for saran wrap and I can't find it. So I'm looking in this cabinet, I'm looking here, I'm looking there, and I can't find the saran wrap. So I'm getting a little frustrated about the fact that I can't find the saran wrap. So I turn around and I look on the table, and there's all boxes of tinfoil. I don't know if you know what tinfoil is, but tinfoil is a silver-looking thing, and it, you know, you can kind of crunch it in and you can really wrap things with it. So there's little boxes of it, and there's big boxes of tinfoil, and it's all over the tables. And I'm looking at them like, oh, I could wrap the cake in that. But like, no. No, tinfoil's too much. I need saran wrap. I'm not wasting the tinfoil, you know. And right away my mind went to silver, thinking silver in my mind. Not time to touch the silver. So I wasn't touching it. So I finally find the saran wrap. So I take the saran wrap and I'm starting to put some of the cake in the saran wrap. And at that minute, I look up. But before I look up, Gary's back on the outside talking to the people. And all of a sudden I hear, Bashana Haba'ah, Bashana Haba'ah. And it was pronounced correctly, and that word I constantly have trouble with. I do it backwards. I never get it right, ever. But in the dream, I was clearly received Bashana Haba'ah. Matter of fact, I asked Gary later on when I was sharing the dream, I said, is that the right way to say it? He said, yes. So I knew right there, that was a confirmation to me that I was actually getting this from the Father. So when I heard those words, people were like, Bashana Haba'a, Bashana Haba'a. And the two people that were saying it was like all excited because that means next year. It's a next year thing. And the Jewish people do it all the time. When they're having their feast and stuff, they sing that song. We did a whole video on it. So if you want to go check it out, you can check it out. That was a word that God was given to. Gary got that from God supernaturally. He just received the word, Bashana Haba'a. He got the word from God, looked it up and found out that it means next year. And then we found the song and everything. We knew nothing about that. So it was a definite revelation from the Father. So I'm getting excited in my spirit when I hear those words, Bashana Haba'a, I'm getting excited. Yes, the Lord's with us. We're celebrating. So it was a kind of a celebration thing, but we weren't eating the cake, really, in this so-called celebration. So now I'm excited in my spirit. I'm no longer feeling frustrated about the fact that, there's a lot of cake left and I felt more people should be there. And all of a sudden, I look up and I can see through some kind of a window or whatever, and I see the sky. I can't describe the sky. Well, I'll try to describe the sky, but it was a sky that I have never seen in my life. It was dark clouds, and it was like an orangey looking color. And I know when tornadoes come, I know it gets weird coloring. But it was beyond that. I was not connecting that with any tornado coming, any hurricane coming. All I knew was it was a big storm coming, and I didn't know what kind was coming, but I knew that it was there. It was there, right up in the sky as I looked up. And when I saw that, I got quickened in the dream. This has to happen before the celebration. The storm, the devastation. What's going to go down the pike has to happen before the real celebration takes place. So I knew that I was being shown something about a timing in all this. And when I saw that, I knew in my heart that God was showing me that has to happen. And then I woke up from the dream. Now to put this all together so we can get an understanding of it. A while back, I had a dream. And in the dream, it was a representation of America. And America had died. And it was the machine, the defibrillator machine, that actually poof and brings something back to life. Brings people back to life. So in this dream, this was being used to bring America back to life. America had died. Poof. And was being brought back to life by God. Okay? God had intervened and helped America come back to life. That was a dream I had. Short to the point. All right? When Gary and I went to Batavia, we met two sisters called the Resistance Chicks. And I talked to the one sister, and she had the exact same dream, a little bit different, but the exact same dream about America dying and being brought back to life. So that was confirmation. So God gives confirmation on these things. So I'm now connecting the fact that God is showing me seriously, we as a country are going to die. Before we get freedom and victory, there is a death that's going to actually take place, and we're going to feel it, we're going to know it. I don't know if it's the actual total collapse. All I know is something really devastating is going to make this country feel like it died. And God is going to help bring it back. So I know this now from the stream that I just had. I also know that the Bashana Haba'ah, all right, next year, God also is throwing me into 2024 with the Bashana Haba'ah. Something's about to take place in 2024. We also know that the eclipse is coming April 8th, 2024, which is going to be the last part of the letter A Aleph, an X across America, but the other small eclipse we had went through that letter X and brings it into a letter A. That is God's brand stamp on the United States of America. He is going to, on April 8th, 2024, he's putting a branding stamp on America through the signs in the heavens, okay, and through these eclipses, saying America is his. Because the letter A, Aleph, means God, and it belongs to God. So God is going to mark it. In 2024, he's going to make his mark on the United States of America on April 8th. All right? So something is going to go down next year, marking America as his. Is this total devastation thing going to happen after that? Before that, I have no idea. All I know is he is throwing this to next year. And what he's showing me by the dream that I just had with the celebration is everybody's wanting to celebrate it before the time. It's going to happen this year. He's coming back this year. And God is saying, no, 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 it is not. We are not going to get victory till there's a death of America. And we are in death mode now. We're in death mode. All right? Something is going to bring us out of death mode, but this is not going to be some just like passing through. It's going to be something we never, never, never forget. We'll never forget this, ever. Because America is never, ever going to go back to the way it is now in this country. It will never happen again. We're going to get back this country and we're going to keep it. Because God has his hand on America. We're going to be the beacon of light shining. We're going to be the backers of Israel. Nobody's going to touch Israel. Because we're going to have the power and the fire of God in this country. And God will be our backer too. This is all happening. It's going to be a process happening next year. There's a lot of victories going on this year, all right? We're battling. But it's the next year, 2024. Because 2023 is still part of a 50-year judgment of God for Roe versus Wade. I know it was overturned. It was overturned last year on the June 24th, the date that God showed me. He showed me June 24th, that exact date it was going to be turned over. In Haggai 1 and 2, I got that. The September 24th when we met, all right, in Spicewood, Texas. We played a major role when we did that in pulling down certain strongholds so that we could start winning in the court system. So this is all in process that's going on. But we are not going to see things really happen until 2024. We're going to be moving into an election after he stamps and brands the United States as his in the heavenlies. All right. We know that there's a death mode. God had to remind me in this dream that I had with the celebration about the death, Lois. He was telling me, Lois, there's a death. You can't skip the death part because he brings it back with a poof. So we are not done yet, church. We are not done with what's going to happen. And I know a lot of you think that this is over this year. And I know things are being said about this year. And it's because we're celebrating prematurely. We're celebrating before the timing. And that's okay because God sees our hearts and he knows we desire and he knows we're believing for victory, which is a good thing. But Bashana Haba'ah was given to us, was given to Gary by a word, a message in tongues, showing him that word. Therefore, that's supernatural. I had a supernatural dream, poof. I had this supernatural dream, looking up and seeing it right above me as we're trying to celebrate. That's why we didn't eat the cake. And he showed me silver was involved. That's why the aluminum foil was all over the place, different sizes. What do people buy? They buy the little, 1 ounce. They buy the blocks of silver. So that's the different size aluminum boxes. The little ones, the medium ones, the big ones. And I knew, no, we can't touch that. That's priceless. We need to keep that. So he's showing me it's not the time yet for the silver to do its thing. Not just yet. This all is going to go down the pike. I would, from what I see in the heavens, I would assume that the death thing is going to happen before the silver does its thing, because that's the time frame in the dream. And I know you can't assume, but I'm saying from what I saw in the dream, the timing of things. He's letting me know the celebration, yes, be joyful, be joyful, be joyful. Expectation, expectation. All right? That's faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. So it's good that we have all this hope and expectation. And there are time frames when it looks like things could be happening. So people are saying different things. Or like, I think it's going to happen here. I think it's going to happen there. It will happen when it's meant to happen. Not this year. There's too many supernatural things that Gary and I have experienced, confirmed, that are showing the process of next year. And we're meeting, all right, in Florida. Our conference is on 4/19/20. And we're going to be going home on the 21, which is 4/21 backwards of the 1/24, death to life. The 1/24, death to life, is my son being born dead, coming back to life. God's showing me a time frame. All my children represent time frames. He gave me a time frame, and it's a death to life. So that too is a supernatural. I left my body. I was in the room of time, floating around. This is all being put together in this one video to make us understand what's going down in America. So be prepared. Don't think light. Don't get disappointed when it doesn't happen this year. Don't be angry at the people that have been saying it, all right? They don't mean anything by it, all right? They're trying to put things out there so that we can believe in what's actually going to happen. So I'm going to be live tonight with Brother Greg Norman on the One Source Network on YouTube at 8 p.m. this evening. I will be live. We'll be talking about a lot of different things. And that's about all I have to say. Making sure I didn't miss anything. But these are all the gifting of the Holy Spirit showing us these different things that are going on. So that's where you know it's really from God. Anybody could say anything. Anybody could look at a time frame from the Bible and say, well, something could happen at this date. But when God supernaturally shows you, that means it's right on. And we will see things happen. Things are going to play out next year. Maybe after the eclipse goes through and the branding is on America, God finally is saying, this is mine. Nobody's taking it from me, and I'm taking it back. I'm taking back what belongs to me, what was dedicated to me. The enemy pulled it so far away because we didn't follow Jesus and we didn't do the right thing by our God. All right? But God is pulling his people together. We're rising up. The sons of God are rising up. We're rebuking. We're doing what we're supposed to do. And we better get out and make sure we vote in the election, because that's going to seal the White House, is when we get back the White House from the side that is bringing in everything that's against God. You can't go against God and win. Ever, 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 ever. You can for a short time. Antichrist will rise up for a short time on the earth. He will do his thing, but he's doing his thing over there because he's rising up. And at some point, the false prophet, which is the Pope, will be kicked out of the picture, and he will rise up, because once he's done, all right, with that, he's no longer going to be needed in the picture to bring in Christians and make them join forces with Antichrist, because that's what he's doing. You can't pull all religions in and make it one religion. There's only one God, one Son, period. And his name is Jesus, Yeshua. Gary and I love you very much. And I'll be back when he sends me back again. And have a blessed day, and tune in tonight at 8 p.m.